Hi, it's Tim Michelle Birdsong. I was having conversation with Gurinder Singh Dillon, as Bob Dylan's brother, has been taking care of Bob Dylan's responsibilities, his wife, for 60 years. And he was explaining things to me. For example, a woman sees a man and she thinks of reasons why she wants him to be the father of her child. And then if he wants to be, am I right, Gwen? He's got to agree, right? Yeah, if he agrees, if he wants to be the father of her child, the body says, okay, it clicks in the heart. The body says, okay, and they create the baby. Okay, so what's happened to me is I created reasons why. So this is called Frank Zappa and the Mothers of Invention. That was Gurinder Singh and his group. And he was giving the message that the mothers invent the reasons the babies are conceived. So I, with my first child, Andrew Smith, was a blue-collar worker, and he impressed me because he was so decent and he took care of his family. He did his duty and his job. He was a clean-cut man, and so I admired him. Then I guess he admired me too. So but before we could conceive a child, which I didn't want to conceive a child with him consciously, I just was admiring him. I didn't know that was the way you conceive children. So Bob Dylan, from the same place I'm from, really a sunbeam, ETs, extraterrestrials we are, went through my eyes into my being, into my uterus, and removed Andrew Smith's semen and put his own semen there. Okay, what that did was, that made the baby have no mother, because the intention, the reasons, her point of view wasn't there. And he did that with all my children. So none of my children, despite me overworking to be a good mother, none of them have mothers. And they don't feel close to me, despite the sacrifices I made and the miracles I pulled to get them in private schools, horseback riding lessons, trips to the Soviet Union and China, Beijing, China, and appearances on television and all that. They don't feel it. They don't feel close to me. They don't have my blood, because Bob Dylan removed it when he removed the father for them that I chose for them. So, so I have 3 babies in me now that Bob Dylan did the same thing with. So Jesus Christ in my womb does not have a mother. And he said, when I was in India, when he was a guru, no child should have to live without a mother. And why did he say that? Did he know what Dylan was going to do, Gurinder? He knew what Dylan had done. Oh, he thought Gurinder Singh was going to be the father of my child. And I had no way of knowing this, because Gurinder Singh is, my lifeline. He has been in my head since I was 5 years old, afraid of my heartbeat. But I was afraid of him too. I was afraid of everything. Because I didn't have a mother either. Because apparently my father, God, raped my mother. And she didn't like me. And she made it clear. She told me when I was 4 years old, I never wanted you. I tried to abort you. And my ears began to ring like dinner bells. And she laughed because she wasn't my mother, because she felt no connection to me. We had no blood connection. She didn't feel anything talking to me that way. A real mother would never say that to a child. So this is all very shocking to me. I just found this out half an hour ago. So I'm going to have 3 children here, including Jesus Christ, without mothers. My only hope is my grandfather, Dr. Bruce Lipton, wrote The Biology of Belief. He's a cellular biologist, and he has shown that we are not dependent on our genes, on our DNA, that we can create the kind of life we want for ourselves with our thoughts. So I'm gonna train these children to use their thoughts and not depend on their DNA. I don't know how that's gonna work, but that's what I'm gonna do. And Gurinder Singh will probably marry me, and we can have children with blood connections. We are extraterrestrials, and they are creating heaven on earth. And they are the most sexual people in the world. So their prize is the best sex in the world, the best pussy in the world, and that's Venus, and that's me. So it looks like the prize goes to Gurinder Singh Dhillon. He has forfeited the prize. He has given it up many times because he's his brother's keeper. But his brother has not stepped up to keeping and to taking care of these children. He left them on her, and they weren't even her children. On the astral plane, they gave her recognition as the best mother in the world because these children were suicidal. And so was her husband. For 30 years, she was their psychotherapist on call 24/7. She was Freud, Emma Young's, and she was Fritz Perls' wife, who created Gestalt therapy. So she used, and plus she invented her own therapy called Talk and Share. So she used these abilities to keep these people functioning, and wondered why they weren't doing better in life, considering the breaks they had. They had the best food, they were breastfed, they were natural birth. I took the pain instead of pills or cesarean to bring them into the earth, and it got them scholarships at good schools. What else? Music lessons, gymnastics, horseback riding lessons, tennis lessons, fencing lessons, the best friends, good people, connection to God. Everything you think of, they had. Yet they can't even make a living because they have no mother.